Hi, everyone that's just logging on. We're going to begin here in just a few moments. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're going to begin in just a few moments. We're going to go over some different parts of sign language and how it works, the culture of it, and we're going to learn a couple new signs today. We'll begin here in just a moment. All right, so just a little bit of a disclaimer for everyone that's watching. I am no expert in sign language. I took a couple years of it in college, and I practice it pretty frequently at camp. I love to practice it, and I love to be able to use it with different individuals in order to communicate with them. It's a pretty important aspect, and it's pretty easy to learn. It's pretty simple, and a lot of the signs make a lot of sense. So before we begin, we're going to kind of touch on a few different things, kind of what ASL is, the different kinds of sign. And then we'll go a little bit into how to fingerspell, and I'll teach you a little bit of how to do that, learn how to sign everything from, we'll do some numbers, maybe 1 through 10, and we'll go over a couple signs that are just good to know in general. So the biggest thing or the biggest misconception I would say is that not everyone that signs or is hard of hearing or is deaf can lip read. That's something that a lot of people think is that, oh, they can read my lips. Nope. That's just another skill that some individuals do have and some don't. There are some individuals that are hard of hearing and they don't sign. Maybe they utilize a hearing aid or maybe they have a cochlear implant. And that's something just to keep in mind as well. One pretty neat thing I think that's different from our culture of when we're having a conversation with someone is that when you're signing with someone, you want to be looking at their eyes because you want to be looking at the emotion that they're going and that they're showing, because as we communicate with our voices and our pitch higher and it lowers, and you can tell with our body language how we're communicating. It's the same thing when someone's signing. So if I were to sign yes, or I was to sign yes, there's a big difference in how my facial expressions are showing it. So the first thing that we're going to learn is how to sign your name, or the first portion of your name. So whenever you are signing and you're talking about yourself, you're going to point to you. If you're signing for someone else, like I want to know your name, I'm going to point to you. So my name, so 2 fingers together, and you hit them like this, is Katie. So Kaite. Your name, what? So again, my name is Katie. Your name is what? So in order to learn how to spell your name, you need to know how to fingerspell. So we'll go through the alphabet a little bit. We'll go through it 1 or 2, maybe 3 times. If you have questions, feel free to comment them as we go, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. So the first letter is A. It goes just like this. So you close your fist and you have your thumb against your finger. Then we go to B, C, D, E, and then F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, There's 3 humps on an M. Then we go to N, which is 2 humps. O, and then P is a K, and you flip it down. And then Q is just like G, but you flip it down. So Q, R, S. There's a difference between this is A and this is S. T, so kind of your thumb is in between your fingers. U, V, W, X, like an ARG, X, Y, and then Z. If you can tell the way I'm backwardsly tracing it in the camera, you make a Z with your finger. So pretty simple. We'll go through that 1 or 2 more times, and I'll go slow so you can kind of pick it up and learn. And this is something that if you ever want to join and get more information on, there's so many different videos out there, there's apps out there, and it's a pretty easy thing to kind of pick up and learn as you go. And a lot of the signs make sense. So again, we'll go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Pretty simple. And it's something that after a period of time you can learn, and it just kind of becomes a rhythm. I learned it a while ago when I was in college. I took it in my freshman and sophomore year, and I still use it to this day. And it's pretty neat because it's something that you can use a little bit of everywhere. There's some different variations of ASL depending on where you live and the culture of it. Just like how in different parts, like in the Midwest, we say pop, but over in New York, you say soda. Same kind of concept, a little bit different. There's also a different kind of sign that is taught in schools to some kids rather than ASL, which is American Sign Language. And that's what I know. So another thing that we're going to learn, which is pretty basic and simple to learn, is your numbers. We're just going to go through 1 through 10 because that's pretty easy and simple to pick up. And then after you get that, there's a couple variations that go on as you learn more and more. So the first part is 1. You face your hand away from you. So 1, and then it goes 2. But 3 is a little tricky. You put your thumb out. So this is 3, and then we go to 4 as 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, and then 6, you turn your hand around. You go 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 is your thumb, and you twist it like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Pretty simple to learn and kind of pick up on. It's just the way that you're turning your hand. So 1 this way means 6 this way, right? It's a little bit different in the way that you're looking at it and you're moving your hand. Oh, let's see. Something else that's good to know is how to say, after you meet someone and you tell them your name, so let's try again. We learned how to fingerspell. So see if you can fingerspell your name out. So my name is Katie, K-A-I-T-E. Your name is what? Can you try to spell your name on your hands now that you've kind of gone through it a little bit? Another thing, so after I meet you, it's really nice and polite when you're meeting someone and you're shaking their hand or you're saying hello and introducing yourself. You say, nice to meet you. So how you do that in sign is you go, nice to meet you. We'll do it again. It goes, nice to meet you. And it helps if you're giving that verbal expression of that's matching your hands of it's nice to meet you or nice to meet you. Does that make sense? How you're kind of going through and you're thinking about with your facial expressions, how you're really expressing yourself. Because that's how someone's going to read if you really are enjoying talking to them. Okay. So with all that being said, there's something else that's important. is how are you? I'm good. You? So how are you? It's something that's important to know somebody's feelings. On top of that, there's a couple pretty simple signs that I think are easy to join and keep up with if you just want to learn some. So just like someone else, like when someone's driving a car, they're driving a car, this is a sign for driving. If someone's walking, this is the sign for walking. If they're dancing, this is it. So pretty simple. If I wanted to go fishing, so a lot of the signs kind of make sense and go to what you're actually doing. If you're golfing, you're going to move your hands like that. A couple important things to know is the sign for thank you. So you put your fingers at the bottom of your chin and you go like this. Something that's good if you're even so far away from someone and they do something for you and you say thank you. And they can just make eye contact with you and acknowledge you and shake their head. Another thing is sorry. So I'm going to take my hand and make it into an S, and then I'm going to rub it on my chest. I'm sorry. Something that happens to me all the time is I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Let's see. A favorite at camp is this. So this sign right here, which I think some of you are aware of, is pop. It makes sense. You're popping the can. Or my favorite, coffee. So it's like almost you're grinding up the coffee all together. Let's see. A good one to know when you're in a crowded place and you need to signal someone and you need to go to the bathroom. So you're going to take a T and then you kind of shake it. So like this, like I'm going to the bathroom. And my favorite sign that has to do with everything we're doing right now is camp. So you're going to take your fingers, you're going to take your pinky and your pointer finger, and you're going to put them together and make a tent, and you're going to go down. So I like camp, or I love camp. That makes pretty much sense. How it looks kind of like a tent, and you're spreading it out. Is there anyone that knows any sign language that's watching right now? Do you have a favorite sign that you know or you like to use, or maybe you've learned before from a friend or a family member or a classmate? Comment below so I can see. Let's see. So Diamond, our therapy dog, how you would sign for her, I'm going to have to stand up a little bit here, is you take your hand and you pat your hip like dog. Come. And then cat would be like your whiskers. So you're taking your whiskers and you're kind of pulling them out. Does anyone have any questions? So to kind of put it all together, we learned our name, how to introduce ourselves and ask someone else their name. We learned how to finger spell our name. And if you're finger spelling and maybe you don't know a sign, so you want to finger spell it instead, that's okay. It's okay not to know all the signs, and finger spelling can tell you just that. So if I want to learn, instead I can go, I want to learn. I'm a little bit out of practice. So it doesn't matter if you don't know all the signs, you can still finger spell them and kind of go through. And just giving it a try and learning something new is just as important. Maybe it's not for you, but also it's a good skill to kind of have and learn about. So for those of you that are just joining us and hopping on, we're learning a bunch of different things that are pretty simple portions of ASL or American Sign Language. If you are just hopping on now, you can reverse a little bit and learn the alphabet. And we're going to kind of tie it all back into each other. So we'll go through the alphabet one more time for those of you that are hopping on now. So let's go through it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, like an O. P is your K down. I lost my spot. O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And then let's try your name one more time. So my name is Katie. Your name is what? And then if we were meeting in person right now, I would say, nice to meet you. And then I would say, how are you? I'm good. I'm missing my campers, but I'm very good. As those of you can see, if anybody recognizes where I am sitting, I'm sitting outside of my house, but I'm also sitting right next to camp. And we are missing all of you very, very much. And we're very excited for the day that you all get to return. And we are crossing our fingers and hoping that means it's sometime very, very soon. So thank you all for joining us today. We have a couple new things that I just want to talk about for a moment that are coming up here in the next couple weeks. Our therapeutic recreation interns for the summer are working on putting together a social club for teens and for adults. Every other Wednesday, we're going to try it for 2 weeks and see how it goes. And if it's great and everybody starts to enjoy it, then we'll continue it on. So what is going to happen with that, if you're interested in joining, it's anybody from the age of 13 to 21 for teens, and then anyone from 21 up for adults. And if you're interested in it, just send me an email. My email is kryan@campcourageous.org. You can join in with us. We're going to do it on Zoom, so you can kind of interact with your peers a little bit more and have a little bit of a social interaction that's needed at this time within our safe distance, of course. So if you're interested in joining that, feel free to shoot me an email and we can add you to the list, and we'd be happy for you to join us. Other than that, thank you for joining us today. There's a lot of new things going on at camp. Memorial Weekend is coming, and we have a brand new aspect of camp that's being constructed right now. And Memorial Weekend is the great way to kind of bring it up. We're adding some new flags and some new mainliner park in honor of veterans and firefighters and policemen and all of those that serve us and keep us all safe every day, not just during this COVID and during this epidemic. So to kind of wrap things up, we miss you all at camp a lot. I hope to see you soon. My backyard looks really, really quiet right now. If you have any questions about camp or want to reach out to us or join our social club, either comment in the box or feel free to send me an email at kryan@campcourageous.org. I hope you learned something today and you continue to practice some different sign language as we go. Have a great day, everyone, and happy Memorial Day weekend.